Alright everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome to Apple Weekly number 74. You're like, I don't care because you haven't uploaded a video in a long time. The reason why Apple Weekly hasn't been up is because, put it straight, there's not been many stories out. Nothing on the Mac front, of course, until today, hence why you're seeing this video, but since the iPhone 5 launch we haven't seen any rumour other than iPad mini, iPad mini, iPad mini, and you generally know it's a slow Mac rumour kind of week is when you're getting stories on Thunderbolt or lightning cables. So now that we have meaty information, I thought, hey, why not record an Apple Weekly on this fine evening? And of course, before we get started, I know you all should be checking out iGear.com. You really should be. So getting started off with the stories, up first is, you can't really have escaped this for the past couple of days, is the iPad mini, which is going to get launched on the 23rd of October, or demoed or introduced into the market. Apple are going to be holding an event. It's not certain where it's going to be held, but hey, it's an invitation only event, as it said on the rumour website. When was the last time Apple announced, hey, we're holding an event? You're invited. The average Joe in the street invited. It's never really happened, so I'm not sure why rumour websites were saying that. And the source of the rumour is, of course, All Things D, who have got a pretty good track record of being accurate with their rumours. And then the thing that hit the nail in the coffin was Jim from The Loop, who also has a good track record of rumours, said yep, simply to All Things D's report. So it's fair to say we are going to see something launched or demoed come October 23rd, which is a Tuesday and not a Wednesday, 3 days before Microsoft introduced the Surface tablet. Anyone getting that? Leave it in the comments below. And adding to this, the next web say that the event is going to be heavily focused on iBooks. I did indeed say that. Anyone still using iBooks? Put your hands up. It'll be pretty cool to see. Why is the question. But of course the iPad mini is probably going to be safe till the end if that story is indeed true. And you know an iPad mini is round the corner when you see rumours like this. It is indeed the iPad mini battery, supposedly. And moving on, Apple introduced the whole lightning cable and technology, and the downside to that was, amongst many things, and which I've mentioned in the past, one of the things is Apple really has to authenticate each supplier, so you can't just go out and make a cable yourself and it'll work. It has some sort of security mechanism where Apple has to approve each supplier and then they can go ahead and build it. Well, apparently now a Chinese firm has managed to crack its way through, and doesn't this glowing dock cable lightning, it just looks absolutely phenomenal. Retailing at $39.99. It's not available yet, but it's coming soon amongst other unauthorised cables, shall we say. Next up, if you purchased an iMac between October 2009 and July 2011 and you have a 1TB Seagate hard drive and it's faulty, well, you can get it fixed for free. If you don't have Apple Care, you can just walk into your local Apple store or ring them up and they will replace it with one that works. There were some issues in the past, but Apple have just over the weekend extended the models, so if you are affected, you can thank me for letting you know. And last but not least, the story that you've all been waiting for, or at least I have been dying to kind of see anything on the Mac front, any Mac rumours. It just seems to be iOS rumours. But today, a Chinese forum, there was a post on there, and the guy who posted the story, his brother works at the assembly line at Foxconn or wherever these iMacs are being built, and he managed to take this snapshot, which is supposedly meant to be the next generation of iMac. The image was questioned, but when iFixit got involved and they looked at the image, they said that it does look pretty much identical to what Apple have built in the past, or their current iMacs, the placement of all the hard drives, where the Apple logo is and where the Wi-Fi antenna is. It looks to be pretty damn accurate. The forum poster indicates that this iMac is ridiculously thin. When you see it from an angle, from a side, it's just so thin. And here's, I guess, where my take comes in. Why on an iMac? It makes sense, sure, you know, on a MacBook Pro or whatever mobile device it is, but the iMac, when's the last time you put an iMac in your jacket? You know, when was the last time that happened? The other not so good thing is that the forum poster indicates that the super nice glass is glued on to the machine, which indicates what Apple have done with the 15-inch Retina MacBook Pros, where they don't want users getting in, they want you to be locked out so you can't do upgrades yourself, and if that is indeed the case, then that's a negative. And if they make it so thin, it's safe to say they're not going to be using traditional hard drives, and there's no way to insert a traditional 3.5-inch or 2.5-inch hard drive inside, or even an optical drive. So with what Apple have done with the 15-inch Retina MacBook Pros, where they've done away with the optical drive, it's fair to say the iMacs are heading that way as well. Interestingly, there's nothing to say that the upcoming iMacs are going to be Retina or not, because the forum poster didn't really go into details. What he did say though is that they're going to be introduced in a conference, an event this month or come next month, and he said that the 21.5-inch might come in first and then the 27-inch will follow up later on, as was the case by a few analysts a few weeks back, where they said that the low end model will be released first and then the higher end models will be released later on because of the mechanism or display issues. The same forum post also indicates that a 13-inch Retina MacBook Pro, codenamed D1 internally, is going to be launched pretty soon as well. It's seeing thermal display issues, and with what all the analysts have said in the past, and CNET have also reported recently, that a 13-inch Retina MacBook Pro is going to be launched in Q4 of this year. So it's something that I've been dying to get, especially since I've sold my 15-inch Retina MacBook Pro, so it is on my hit list to get, so I hope it's sooner than later. And last but not least, the same report indicates that the 15-inch Retina MacBook Pro is going to get a silent update because there are a few issues in terms of heat and display. Head over to Apple's own forums or the Mac forums and you'll see a lot of people complaining about the LG display versus the Samsung display, people returning Retina MacBook Pro and getting a new one, and the new display seems to be working fine. So there's no doubt that there are issues with the display and also heat. This is something that I experienced when I had the 15-inch Retina MacBook Pro. I know it's a much more powerful system, graphics card is much powerful, but it was hot. You know, despite having the new fans, the asymmetrical fans, and it was hot, especially if you had it in your lap. Compared to the MacBook Airs, you would notice the heat. So I hope the silent update does indeed fix this, and come the 13-inch Retina MacBook Pros, there are no such issues. I guess everything will be cut clear in terms of when everything is launching come October the 23rd, whether it's launched then or whether Apple are going to introduce it at a new event come next month. I kind of doubt that, simply because it's the holiday season and they don't really need to hold an event because sales are through the roof. But you know, that said, the iMac, some retailers are experiencing shortages. The Mac Mini as well is experiencing a lot of delays. Could the Mac Mini being refreshed as well? You know, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be refreshed, but I can't see it all happening just within the space of this month. I just don't see it happening. But that's it for this week in Apple. I hope you liked it. Leave your comments below. What are you waiting for? Mac Mini, iMac, iPad Mini, for all two of yous out there. I'm joking. I'm joking. Take it easy, calm down. Leave it in the comments below. Feel free to join me on Facebook, Twitter. Links are on the screen and on the description. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers! There's a pocket for pretty much anything. Google Nexus 7? Check. Apple iPad? Check. Amazon Kindle Reader? Check. Let me ask you this question. Can you carry all this plus more only in an iGear garment? Are you annoyed with getting your earphones tangled? Well, now there's no excuse. Buy today at iGear.com, shipping worldwide. We've been featured on the British Forces News, the Herald, the Journal, the Gadget Show Live, and the list continues.